On the whole, Microsoft's press event at E3 2019 was somewhat disappointing, thanks to a combined lack of gameplay being shown for games and premature leaks having ruined some of the biggest surprises before the conference had even aired. But there's no denying that there were some bits that did stand out, and the poster boy of those said bits was the reveal of Project Scarlett, the next generation of Xbox. Though not a formal reveal, which will probably come at E3 2020, Microsoft did speak a lot about the next Xbox console and what we can expect from it. In this feature, we'll be talking about 15 of the biggest things we learned about Xbox Scarlett. The future of gaming. With Project Scarlett, Microsoft are aiming for the future of gaming. In their developer footage for the new console, they stated the following. When we think about the future of gaming, it's not just PC, it's not just console, it's not just mobile, it's really all of the above. Xbox is all about choice. We're investing in technology, we put the fan at the center of every decision we make, the games you want with the people you want on the devices you want, and for us, that starts with our next generation console. With Project Scarlett, they do not plan to make just another console. Instead, they want it to be a transformative experience. Developer focused. With Project Scarlett, Microsoft also wants it to be an easier development experience for game developers. They stated that, what we really want to do is give developers the power to build the game that they've always envisioned. We have hundreds of people across both our first-party studios as well as our third-party studios working on those next-generation experiences. SSD. Solid-state drives have been the talk of the town as of late, thanks to Sony having confirmed not too long ago that the PS5 would make use of an SSD to allegedly eliminate, or at least significantly cut back, loading times in next-gen games. And of course, Microsoft wasn't going to stand by and watch as their direct competitors stole all of the headlines. Xbox Scarlett will indeed have an SSD of its own. What's interesting is that the console will make use of it as virtual RAM, which should allow it to process everything a lot faster by 40 times as compared to current-gen hardware. Microsoft further stated, "We can actually generate more life in the world and bring it to the gamer in a seamless way, so that then you're fully experiencing what the game developers want you to experience, when you can move through worlds without waiting for loading screens." Custom processor. What about the processor chip being made use of in Scarlett? Well, it's going to be a custom-made chip, engineered jointly by Microsoft and AMD. The chip will be making use of the Zen 2 and Navi technologies created by the latter. It's similar to what we're seeing in the PS5 as well. The bit about it being custom-made for both consoles should present some interesting possibilities for how Microsoft and Sony leverage it. GDDR6. Microsoft also confirmed that Project Scarlett is making use of GDDR6 memory. They didn't go into any specifics beyond mentioning just that, but we can probably assume that it'll be between 16 to 24 gigabytes, which is already a huge upgrade over the Xbox One X's 12 gigabytes GDDR5 memory. Lower power consumption, higher bandwidth, and impressive transfer speeds have all become hallmarks of GDDR6, so it should be interesting to see how Project Scarlett makes use of it. 4 times faster than the Xbox One X. Next-generation consoles being faster than current-generation ones is, of course, a given, but Microsoft have mentioned that Project Scarlett is, all said and done, about 4 times faster than the Xbox One X, which is pretty damn fast by modern console standards already. The combination of its more powerful processor, GDDR6 memory, and its usage of a solid-state drive as virtual RAM are probably hugely responsible for these significantly faster speeds. 8K and 120 FPS. Whether or not games support 4K and 60 FPS have been a prevalent question this generation, but next gen is next gen. Project Scarlett, as per Microsoft, is going to offer 8K resolutions and frame rates that can go up to 120 FPS. Now, given how little they spoke of it, we can't say this for sure, but we're assuming this is referring to HDMI 2.1, which offers either native 4K at 120 FPS or 8K at 60 FPS, and not 8K and 120 FPS together. Ray tracing. Ray tracing is something else that's become a huge talking point for games this generation as technology has progressed. Sadly though, it's remained exclusive to PC gaming, with games like Metro Exodus using it in abundance. Well, that'll be changing soon. Microsoft confirmed during their conference that Project Scarlett will support ray tracing, and that it'll be done in real time and through hardware acceleration. It should be noted that the PS5 will also support ray tracing, so both consoles will probably be equal in this regard. Backward compatibility. Backward compatibility's importance continues to grow in our industry. Sony recently confirmed that they'll be leveraging the PS5's backward compatibility support to its fullest, but Microsoft have already been on that ride for a while now, and they'll be continuing doing the excellent work that they started with the Xbox One. Project Scarlett, Microsoft have said, is going to have 4 generations worth of content, which would imply that all Xbox games ever will be playable on Scarlett. xCloud. Microsoft didn't mention their upcoming cloud streaming services specifically during the Scarlett reveal, but it goes without saying that integrated xCloud support is going to be a big deal with Scarlett, and we're assuming it'll also support console remote play like Xbox One does. xCloud launches later this year, and Microsoft are clearly pushing it hard, so it's a safe bet to assume that the cloud streaming service and the next generation of Xbox will go hand in hand. Multiple devices support. The new Xbox will also support compatibility with various devices and platforms. They stated that, "We are giving gamers the option to connect across devices and across platforms in a way that we never were able to do. I don't lose my last generation data as I move into the next generation, the people I play with and the games that I want to play. The experiences should be continuous. This is about the future of gaming. Your games, your achievements, your progression, your accessories, your console gaming experience with Xbox. It all comes forward with Scarlett." Launch. We can finally put all of the speculation and questions about when the next generation will be here to bed. Microsoft confirmed that Project Scarlett would be launching in holiday of 2020, which is pretty much in line with what we all had been expecting. We'll probably get a more specific release date along with other important information like pricing, the console's final name, and what it even looks like at E3 next year. Halo Infinite launch title. Here's the news that will matter to a great many people. The one bit of news that is actually tangible. Halo Infinite will be a launch title for Project Scarlett when it launches in holiday 2020. The very first Xbox, when it first launched, did so with the very first Halo. It makes sense then that what's being touted as the series' spiritual reboot and the biggest leap for Xbox will go hand in hand. It will have a disk drive. If you have any concerns regarding a diskless next-generation Xbox console, then rest easy. Xbox boss Phil Spencer, in an interview with Games Industry, confirmed that the next Xbox will indeed have a disk drive. With the recent launch of the Xbox One S All-Digital Edition, some players were naturally concerned. Spencer addressed those concerns by stating, "So even when we put out things like the Xbox One S All-Digital Edition, we are very clear with the names because I'm not trying to confuse anybody. That if you're somebody that has a library of discs, or that's the way you want to acquire the content, then you should buy the Xbox One S, not the Xbox One S All-Digital, which is why we put it in the name. And yes, I know it says sad. I want to be very descriptive because I'm not trying to confuse anybody about what the options are. I want to give people choice, and right now, physical is a choice that millions of people love." Single console for now. It was heavily reported that Microsoft will launch multiple variants of Xbox consoles. In fact, Phil Spencer himself stated that there will be multiple consoles. So what gives? In an interview, Microsoft's Matt Booty stated that everything we're talking about, we talked about today. We're not talking about more than what we showed in the video and what Phil talked about. Project Scarlett is our console plan headed into 2020. So that doesn't confirm or deny whether there will be multiple next Xboxes, but for now, Microsoft seems to be focused on Project Scarlett. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.